Good evening. My name is Stephen Powell, and I have the pleasure of being your daughter's ninth grade World History 1 teacher. Um, Unfortunately, B Day is one of the days that we drop because we only meet 4 days per cycle. And so I won't get a chance to have a class with you on Thursday evening. And what I wanted to do was just send a quick video about what we would have done in class and let you put a face to the name. And also let you know that I'll be available in the lobby during most of the evening. So if you're ever walking past the lobby and I'll be there, I'll have the name tag on. Please feel free to introduce yourself and say hi, and that way I can meet you at least for a second. So again, my name is Stephen Powell. I teach two sections of World History 1. Dr. Emily Cook, the History Department Chair, teaches the other three sections. Here's information about Dr. Cook. She's been here for a while and does a really good job working with ancient history classes. That is her field of study. She has a PhD in the area. This is me. I have been here for 5 years, and I've mostly taught 11th and 12th grade AP US history and then American government. And I'm jumping into ninth grade this year. I think it'll be a really fun transition, and I'm really excited to get to work with your daughters. I'm currently working on my doctorate, but I don't have it yet. So Dr. Cook still has one on me for that. But in class, if we were to have been in person, I would have asked you to find someone you don't know and quickly introduce yourself. And we would do this activity that we had students do earlier this year, right? I asked students to do a little bit of research, and we summed up some of the societies that we were going to study. And we tried to draw comparisons and connections between them, what they believed in, where they were from, where they lived, sort of their architectural and social accomplishments, right? So this is what this map will look like. This is in Dr. Cook's classroom, but all of our students have access to all of these slides. So they made, and obviously, looks very good. But the point of this is to show that we can't cover everything, and we're only going to be able to do a snapshot because we're trying to cover thousands of years of history, right? We need to be careful about the types of questions we're asking. And I will say your daughters have done a wonderful job of asking questions, and it really keeps a lively classroom environment, right? But what this activity does is it forces students to work in groups. Central to the ninth grade at Holy Child is building of community. We're an intentionally small school, as Colleen Pettis loves to say. And so we want students to feel comfortable with each other. Students in the ninth grade world history class have shown that they can do research, right? They can select important information, and they can also organize that information. But that's just the sort of the base level of what we're trying to do. We want students to be able to work with the content, right? Analyze how we know what we know, analyze why that matters, and then also go further to create something brand new. So we're going to start doing some projects where students have to be responsible for generating new information, right? The course itself starts with the human origins, as we've talked about with your daughters, I'm sure you've heard. And then we're going to go all the way up to the medieval era. We may dabble in the Renaissance if we get some time, but most of our work is going to stay in the medieval period. So we're going to focus on the Neolithic Revolution, civilizations throughout the world, and then empires. The second half of the class is students are going to complete a research paper where they develop a research question and answer said question using research and long form writing. Right? But equally as important as content are the skills that we are going to work with students to help them build over the course of the year. These are the skills that it takes to be a successful history student, both at Holy Child and beyond, and even beyond being a history student, just a successful student and thinker and lifelong learner that we're trying to build. So again, we're going to use these skills to sort of get at and approach the content. If you haven't seen yet, here's our Veracross website. You have access to this, and you have access to syllabus, Quizlets, basically anything that we need the students to have they're going to have access to it on Veracross. We try to post slides from each lesson so that students can see those slides and have access to them when they need them, especially if they're studying for quizzes. The last thing that I wanted to touch on, it's early in the year for this right now, but it's the fact that starting in 10th grade, students are placed into classes that are appropriate for them based upon the work that they've done in the previous year. So in ninth grade, students we'll be looking at students' work, both in terms of, you can see here the grades that they have, and also the skills and habits of mind that they demonstrate over the course of the year, to determine where they are best suited to be in 10th grade. Both of the 10th grade classes, both 10 and 10A, cover the Renaissance period to modernity, or right now. But we want to make sure that each student is appropriately challenged with where they are positioned. So over the course of the spring semester, I will have individual conversations with each student just to get a sense of, knowing where they want to be and where they want to go. And also then what we think is appropriate for them and the steps that they can take to accomplish their goals. The ultimate, the sort of the ultimate path is going either 10th grade regular or 10A, and the 11th grade AP US history is sort of the highest history class that we offer at Holy Child, and it's one that is the learning level of a college freshman. So these would be juniors taking a college class. I teach the class, and I remind students all the time that it's a massive step. It's a massive step up from 10th grade, and it requires students to be working at a very high level. And we want to make sure that we are placing students in 10th grade appropriately for that. These criteria are taken directly from the syllabus, so you have access to it if you have the hard copy that your daughter has, or on the Veracross website that you have access to via your parent portal. What's important to note from this is that no matter where a student is placed in 10th grade, they can get into AP US history. And if a student is placed in 10A and they choose to not take AP US history because maybe they want to focus on sciences, that's perfectly okay. They can choose not to. And if a student is placed in World History 2, they are also able, based upon their scores and their grades and work habits, to get into AP US history in 11th grade. So they're not locked in at this moment. What it is sort of where is a student at a snapshot in time? We're trying to put them in the best place to be successful their next year. So that's everything that we either would have done or just some information. Please feel free to reach out if you ever have any questions. I'm always happy to chat. But if not, I hope to see you on Thursday night, and hopefully I will see you all soon. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.